Two band-aids, one truth. I got her, she got me, and together we will be two band-aids, one truth. Hey everybody.
Hey, welcome to our podcast, Two Band-Aids,
One Truth.
My name is Michelle.
And I'm Corinne.
And today the subject of our podcast is deal breakers.
So this is taken from a advice column, which is headed, "My husband doesn't use toilet paper." And it goes on to say, I've 22, female 22, dated a few boys over the years before finding my significant other, but I've never seen anything as bizarre as what he's doing. Some of you may think I'm trolling, but for the love of God, I kid you not. I just don't have the will to say this to him, male 24, or anyone else. So I figured it was harmless to come on here where there's no shame of anyone who knows me. My new husband, mostly while sleeping and other random times throughout the day, has a habit of picking his butt and sprinkling bits across the bed that I'll find and get grossed out about, as well as other areas around the house too. I know that people can sometimes be into weird things, but I can't tell you how unappealing it is to be in the bed and spot crumbs at random moments, and it really destroys any mood for me personally. How the heck do I tell him that he has to stop without coming off weird and condescending? He does it under the covers, and I'll have no clue about it, and I don't want to sleep where there's literal crap crumbs lying around. You want to start this?
No, I'll let you start.
Well, just the thought of somebody doing a number 2 and not wiping their ass. And then you crawl into bed and pick dookie bits. And it's all over the bed and all over your skin. And dookie bits.
Dookie bits. That's what dookie bits sound.
Those are the dookie bits sound. So, I mean, obviously, she of course has to tell him. But my issue is that she had to have known something was wrong. She had to have known something was wrong.
No. I mean...
And this is where we disagree.
No. Here's the thing. If these two, because they're fairly young, right? So that more than likely they both still live at home with their parents. And the thing about it is if they're kind of structured in their households to date a particular way, and I think if you read further in that letter, you'll see that their dating life was very structured and limited. So it wasn't like they spent the night with one another. And if they didn't date that long before they got married, how would they know?
We're going to take this from two perspectives.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say that they're Christians. As a Christian, if you have a relationship with Christ, there is no way you can sit here and tell me that there were no warning signs, that God did not speak to you and tell you this, that there's an issue here.
Why would God warn you about crap balls?
That's a major issue.
No warning.
That's a major issue.
A major issue for who? If a person,
wait a minute.
If a person checks off all the boxes in order for you to say yes to being their spouse, then as far as hygiene, you didn't have any problems with their hygiene while you were dating them. If you're saying yes to being their spouse, then that means that you're saying yes to being their spouse, which means that the good, the bad, the sickness, the health, and till death do us part, that's all a part of it. And And if there's a lack of hygiene, if you don't know it while you're dating, then you either don't want to know it or it wasn't there to be seen. So considering that they're both in their 20s, it's not like they were desperate to get married. They were both still fairly young. So there couldn't have been any significant red flags to his hygiene, or else she would have known that. And you did make a point before about smelling the crap. If it's dried in his butt, you're not going to smell that.
Okay, let me address the smelling of the booty. I used to work with someone on music, and this person was a complete and total slob. Oh my gosh, it was disgusting. I worked with him because I had no one else to work with. I hated going to his house because he was just that disgusting. And he said that I hurt his feelings, but I told him as nicely as I could, look, you need to clean up around here. So I made sure that I never ate or drank anything 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours before I went to his house because I refused to go to his bathroom. So one day, this was, in the early part of me working with him, I said, you know what? He had went to the bathroom or to the kitchen or something to do something. I said, you know what? Let me try to put something, down on this keyboard. So as I approached the bench that he sat on, I was met with a disgusting smell of poop. And I said, ooh, I can't touch that, which means I can't touch the bench. I can't touch the keyboard because he's just that disgusting. So I'm sorry, there had to have been some type of evidence of
slobbery.
Of slobbery somewhere. And like I said, okay, on the Christian part, if there was something that detrimental to a relationship, and to me, this is something that is extremely detrimental,
then you would have been warned.
Then she would have been warned.
You have to take it from the perspective of you. You just said that to you it's detrimental. God knows you. He knows your heart. He knows how you're built. He also knows what you like and what you don't like. So I can understand him warning you, a person who would probably walk away if they found out about it early on. But the thing about it is that we're all of our thresholds, triggers, and limitations and deal breakers. Everybody's deal breaker is not the same. Everybody's deal breaker is not the same. There's some people who can withstand certain storms that other people won't. So the warning would come to the person who needs to have that warning. If she didn't get a warning, that's because she can withstand or is capable or it's possible for her to change things for him. So as part of being somebody's spouse, nobody's perfect coming into a relationship. Everybody has something with them. We all have some kind of quirk or some type of thing about us that may put our spouse off or may cause our spouse to want to direct us in a way that makes more sense to them. So your threshold is not dookie in the butt. My threshold is not dookie in the butt. Hers may be dookie in the butt. Because if she was that disgusted, she would have left at the first sight of crap crumbs in the bed. But that's her husband. It's not a boyfriend. It's not a friend, a sleepover friend. It's her husband. The rules change slightly because of your commitment. And you just can't hightail it and run because of a couple of doodle craps.
I'm not saying that she should run. What I'm saying is before she got married, as she cracks up. Before she got married, there had to have been some kind of sign.
What kind of sign are you going to see if you don't spend the night over someone's house? If you don't spend the night over someone's house, if the amount of hours that you spend around them is structured in a way where you're not alone a lot, then how would you know? How would you know? If you're living in a parent's house and that parent has a certain level of hygiene and cleanliness, you're not going to see crap crumbs on their couch.
I hear what you're saying, Michelle. But as I said before, there had to have been some type of warning, some type of intuition, some type of instinct that said something is off. The word says, the word says, the blessing of the Lord adds no sorrow. I'm sorry. Dookie crumbs in the bedroom is a serious sorrow. Dookie crumbs on my skin, dookie crumbs going up my coochie. Oh, no. Ooh, just the thought of it. Ooh.
Here's the thing, like I said, God knows each and every one of our hearts.
Which is why she has a problem.
And the word also says that he will not bring us into things that he will not be able to bring us out of. I'm paraphrasing, of course, so all you people who know the word better than I do, don't judge me. So what I'm saying to you is that with all things, and the word also says that all things work together for the good of those that love him. So even if there is something involved that you may not be so apt to be happy about, there's always a way where he can lead and direct us in order to make that situation better. So if that means that she has to get dressed in some sexy bathing suit and lead him into the bathroom and make sure his booty's clean, then she's starting out her job a little earlier, because when we get old, we might have to wipe each other's butts. So she's just starting out her job a little earlier. She's wiping his butt now before he becomes old and senile.
I'm sorry. This is a grown ass man.
So what?
He should be able to wipe his ass.
There's a lot of grown people that don't wipe very well, male and female.
No,
Ask all those women that get yeast infections.
True, but this is a man who intentionally sits on the toilet and waits for it to dry and doesn't use toilet paper.
You're assuming that he does not use toilet paper.
The thing says on the thing, my husband doesn't use toilet paper. That's what the thing says.
That's her opinion. She doesn't know that. He may not be wiping completely. He may not be wiping in its entirety.
Okay.
But it doesn't mean that he's not wiping at all.
What?
There's a lot of, think about the different types of dookies that we have. You can't tell me that you could sit through, no. What makes you believe that?
I'm sorry. How do you have dookie bits on the bed?
Because you may not be wiping completely. And so I need to, because I did look up some of these things, as far as habits and stuff like that people have, unusual habits. But we're going to have to do a part 2 to this. But what I'm saying to you is that Principality states that she agreed to be his significant other. And the violation that you're claiming in the hygiene area is not enough just to walk away.
I'm not saying, let's be clear. I have not said that she needs to walk away. I'm not talking about the part where she actually married this dude. I'm talking about before she married him. There had to have been some type of trigger, some type of warning sign, something, some type of, something that said something's not right with this dude.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Because I don't believe that the God who created all things is going to let you walk into that type of a commitment, that type of covenant, without you knowing that.
Okay. Well, let's look at the Bible, shall we?
Shall we?
Okay. Who had forewarnings? There was people in the Bible that didn't have forewarnings. They walked into stuff and got hit in the head afterwards.
True.
So whose fault is that? Theirs?
Like I said before, Michelle, the word also...
No, you're not answering the question.
It's not theirs because that was a part of the purpose. That is what God...
So what makes you think that this is not a part of her purpose? If she didn't get a forewarning?
She would not be writing about this bothering her to this extent if she knew this ahead of time.
Okay, so the people, let's go back to the Bible again. The people who did not get the forewarning that winded up in trouble.
Okay, give me an example. Give me an example.
Jacob and Potiphar's wife.
Jacob and Potiphar's. You mean Joseph?
Joseph and Potiphar's wife.
But there was a purpose to
Again,
that.
don't judge me. Don't judge me.
There was a purpose to Joseph and Potiphar's
That wasn't the point.
But
the point was he entered into something with no full warning. He did not know that Potiphar's wife would do that to him.
Yeah, but if you look at the bigger picture, there was a purpose to that happening, because once that happened, he was then sent to the prison. When he was sent to the prison, he was able to interpret dreams. Once he interpreted dreams, let me finish. Once he interpreted dreams, then they're like, you know what? We need the Pharaoh's having a problem because he's having, oh crap, time. We're gonna have to do a part 2.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. I know the story. However, let's go back.
Purpose.
Who's to say that that's her purpose in she being in his life doesn't serve a bigger picture? Because there has to be a reason why he does that. There's a deeper psychological reason in which why he does that. So he wouldn't put a woman like yourself involved in that, someone who doesn't have the threshold or the patience to deal with that.
No.
So he's going to give him a wife that can deal with that, whether she's aware of it or not.
To me, that's deceit.
It's not deceit.
It's
a habit.
It's a
no. If you marry someone that grits their teeth at night,
gritting their teeth and not wiping your ass are two completely different things.
No.
Gritting your teeth and putting crap crumbs all over the bed that go whoosh. Two different things.
And this is where people get in trouble when it comes to sin. They say, "Oh, well, I didn't rob the bank. I just robbed the lady's purse." It's a difference. No, it's not a difference. Sin is sin no matter what, right? So mistakes are mistakes no matter what. We want to put them in categories in order to make ourselves feel comfortable.
But the
basis of mistakes and habits and things that may cause us to go, are rooted in basic principles. And these are the things that we have to be reminded of. It's not just that he does that. It's deeper than that.
It's definitely deeper than that.
And if she's involved in his life, even looking for counsel, she's in his life for a reason and a season.
Not everything. See, this is where we go.
Not everything what has a reason and a season?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying there are certain things that we don't have to get into. This is a decision that she did not have to make.
What?
She did not have to marry this dude. That was a choice.
Okay, everything we do is a choice.
Yeah, but she made the choice to marry him.
Okay, what's your point?
My point is, you're talking about a reason and a season. I said, but there are certain things that we do, whether we want to admit it or not, we chose to do. She chose to marry him. My issue is that,
and Jacob chose to go where Potiphar's wife was, regardless of what
Joseph,
the outcome.
Not Jacob, Joseph.
That's what I just said, Joseph.
You said Jacob.
Did I? Okay.
Okay.
Joseph decided to go to Potiphar's wife.
But
no,
you can't talk about You can't talk about Joseph and Potiphar because that's different.
No, it's
that
not.
has to deal with purpose. That has to deal with his purpose.
First of all, that means you're just saying that everything that happens in our life has purpose or does not have purpose. Everything that happens in our lives have purpose. Everything. From the smallest things to the largest things. Everything that we do, every decision that we make has a purpose. And it has consequences.
That's why, but here's the thing though, consequences. Whether we make the right decision or the wrong decision affects our lives in every area. And in this case, she made a decision that I think that she was deceived into. Okay, let me rephrase that. She made a decision to marry this man based on what she knew. She did not know that he had a dookie booty issue. So to me, had she known that he had a dookie booty issue,
she would have still married him.
Maybe she would have, maybe she wouldn't.
She would have.
But the point is, she didn't know.
When she found out, she could have got her marriage annulled. The day that, the night that she found out.
On that note, we have to go. We have 26 seconds.
You see how she cut me off? You see that?
Look,
you see that?
That's why there's a part two. That's why there's a part two. Don't judge her.
Don't
But she
judge
crazy. Don't judge her. Okay, so we got 16 minutes, 16 seconds left. We want to thank you for listening in.
Thank you.
And we would love to hear from you. So please leave your comments. And
our Gmail is 2bandaids1truth@gmail.com. No hyphens. That's 2bandaids1truth@gmail.com. Feel free to write us and tell us what you think.
amen.
Amen.
You know she's wrong, though, right?